In the quaint town of Willowbrook, nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering trees, the Morgan family resided in a charming old house. David Morgan, a widower, lived with his 2 children, Emily and James. They led a peaceful life, their days filled with laughter and warmth. Little did they know that their lives were about to be forever changed by an unexpected and eerie presence. One sunny afternoon, Emily and James were exploring the attic. The children loved their adventures amidst the dusty relics of the past, imagining the stories behind each forgotten item. As they rummaged through a box of forgotten toys, their eyes widened with curiosity when they stumbled upon a creepy antique doll. The doll's porcelain face wore a perpetual smile, which sent a shiver down their spines. Its glassy eyes seemed to follow their every move. Emily cautiously picked it up, feeling a strange energy emanating from the doll. Its delicate dress, once a vibrant pink, had faded over the years, and the frills were torn and tattered. "Look, James," Emily whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "Isn't it creepy?" James stared at the doll, a mix of fascination and fear glinting in his eyes. "Yeah, it's creepy, but it's also pretty cool. Let's show Dad." Excitedly, the children hurried downstairs, clutching the doll in their small hands. They found their father in the study, engrossed in an old book. "Dad, look what we found in the attic," Emily exclaimed, her voice filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. David glanced up, his eyes widening as they fell upon the doll. An uneasiness settled in his chest, but he quickly dismissed it, not wanting to worry his children. "It's certainly unique," he replied, forcing a smile. "Where did you find it?" "In the attic," James answered, his gaze locked on the doll's haunting eyes. "Can we keep it, Dad? Please?" David hesitated, unsure about the doll's origins and the unsettling aura that seemed to linger around it. But he couldn't resist the hopeful looks on his children's faces. "All right," he finally relented. "But we'll keep it locked away, just to be safe." As days turned into weeks, the Morgan family settled into a routine. All, now named Victoria, found a new home on a dusty shelf in the study, locked behind a glass cabinet. Life continued peacefully, but an undercurrent of unease began to permeate the air. Emily and James couldn't help but feel a strange presence in the house. At night, they would hear faint whispers and soft laughter echoing through the hallways. Objects would mysteriously move from their original positions, and the temperature would drop dramatically in certain rooms. One evening, David sat alone in the study, engrossed in his work. The room fell silent, the only sound the ticking of the old grandfather clock. Suddenly, he heard a gentle tapping on the window, drawing his attention. His heart raced as he saw the doll, Victoria, standing on the windowsill. He rushed to the window, his mind swimming with confusion. He flung it open, but to his astonishment, there was no one there. Panic gripped him as he glanced at the locked glass cabinet, only to find it wide open, the doll nowhere in sight. Frantically, David searched the house, calling out for his children. He found them huddled in their bedroom, pale and trembling. They had seen Victoria move on her own, gliding eerily across the floor. The doll's eyes seemed to flash with a sinister light. "We have to get rid of it, Dad," Emily exclaimed, her voice quivering with fear. "It's evil." David nodded, his determination firm. They couldn't deny the dark forces at play any longer. Together, They vowed to uncover the secrets of the haunted doll and put an end to its reign of terror. David began his research, scouring the local library and seeking the assistance of experts in the supernatural. Through his inquiries, he discovered that Victoria had once belonged to a young girl named Amelia. Amelia's family had perished tragically in a fire that consumed their home many years ago. Legend had it that Amelia's spirit had become trapped within the doll, seeking solace and companionship. But over time, the loneliness and anguish had twisted her spirit, transforming her into a malevolent force. With this newfound knowledge, David formulated a plan. He would seek out an old seer who lived on the outskirts of town, known for her ability to communicate with spirits. Desperate for answers, he embarked on a journey to find her. After a treacherous trek through the dense forest, David arrived at the seer's humble cottage. The old woman, with eyes filled with wisdom, listened intently to his tale. She nodded solemnly, acknowledging the presence of the vengeful spirit within the doll. "The spirit is angry and seeks release," the seer whispered, her voice barely above a whisper. "There is a ritual that can free her from the doll's hold, but it is dangerous. Are you prepared for what lies ahead?" David took a deep breath, determination etched on his face. "I will do whatever it takes to protect my family and bring peace to the spirit," he declared. Under the seer's guidance, David gathered the necessary ingredients for the ritual, a mix of rare herbs, blessed water, and sacred symbols. The time had come to confront the malevolent spirit within the doll and put an end to its torment. The family gathered in the dimly lit study, the air thick with anticipation. David carefully placed Victoria on a small altar, surrounded by flickering candles and a circle of protection. The seer began chanting ancient incantations, her voice resonating through the room. As the ritual progressed, the atmosphere grew heavy, charged with supernatural energy. The walls seemed to pulse with an otherworldly glow, and the doll trembled on the altar. Emily and James clung to each other, their eyes wide with a mix of fear and hope. Suddenly, a powerful gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. A haunting voice filled the air, whispering incomprehensible words. The family held their breath, waiting for the final outcome of the ritual. With a blinding flash of light, the darkness dissipated, and silence fell upon the room. Victoria, now motionless, lay still on the altar. The malevolent presence had vanished, replaced by a sense of tranquility. Emily and James rushed forward, embracing their father tightly. Tears of relief streamed down their faces as they realized the nightmare was finally over. In the aftermath of the ritual, Willowbrook began to heal from the dark cloud that had settled over it. The Morgan family, now free from the clutches of the haunted doll, forged ahead, grateful for the peace that had been restored. Years passed, and the memory of Victoria and the terrifying events she had unleashed gradually faded. The family moved on, cherishing each day and embracing the future with renewed hope. One day, as Emily sorted through old photographs, she stumbled upon a picture of a young girl named Amelia. The resemblance between Amelia and the haunted doll, Victoria, was uncanny. In that moment, a realization struck Emily. Amelia's spirit had been trapped in the doll, seeking a connection to the living world. Driven by curiosity and compassion, Emily embarked on a quest to uncover Amelia's forgotten past. Through meticulous research and conversations with elderly town residents, Emily pieced together the tragic story of Amelia and her family. Armed with newfound knowledge, Emily returned to the seer who had helped her family years ago. She sought guidance on how to communicate with Amelia's spirit and offer her the closure she deserved. The seer, impressed by Emily's determination and pure heart, agreed to assist her. There, they performed a ritual, creating a bridge between the mortal realm and the spirit world. In the ethereal space between, Emily made contact with Amelia's spirit, and they shared a heartfelt conversation. Amelia's ghostly figure appeared before Emily, her eyes filled with sadness and longing. Through tearful whispers, Amelia recounted the moments leading up to the fire that had claimed her family's lives. She expressed her gratitude for Emily's kindness and the chance to finally share her story. Emily listened, a deep connection formed between the two girls. Amelia, forever trapped in the doll, and Emily, the compassionate soul determined to set her free. In that sacred space, they made a pact, a promise to find a way to release Amelia's spirit and bring her the peace she craved. Driven by their bond, Emily, with the support of her family and the guidance of the seer, embarked on a mission to locate a powerful artifact known as the Key of Liberation. Legends whispered of its ability to unlock the bonds that held spirits captive, granting them freedom and allowing them to move on. Their journey took them across treacherous terrains and ancient ruins, navigating through riddles and obstacles left by forgotten civilizations. Along the way, they encountered kindred spirits, fellow seekers of truth and liberation, who offered their aid and wisdom. Finally, after months of tireless searching, they discovered the fabled Key of Liberation hidden within an ancient temple. The artifact shimmered with ethereal light as Emily held it in her hands, her heart filled with a mix of trepidation and hope. Returning home, Emily and her family gathered once again in the study, the haunted doll, Victoria, resting on the same altar where they had performed the ritual years before. With the Key of Liberation, Emily prepared to unlock the doll's enchantment and release Amelia's spirit. As the key touched the doll, a burst of energy radiated through the room. The porcelain cracked, and Victoria's lifeless form crumbled to dust, revealing a glimmering figure of Amelia's spirit. She stood before them, bathed in a warm, golden light, her eyes filled with gratitude. Amelia's spirit, free at last, expressed her heartfelt appreciation to the Morgan family. With tears of joy and relief, she bid them farewell, promising to find solace in the afterlife and watch over them from beyond. In the days that followed, Willowbrook experienced a newfound sense of peace and serenity. The Morgan family, forever changed by their encounters with the supernatural, became a beacon of hope for those who sought solace and closure in the face of darkness. Emily, now a young woman, went on to study the mysteries of the spirit world, becoming a renowned paranormal investigator. Her experiences with the haunted doll and Amelia's spirit inspired her to dedicate her life to helping trapped souls find liberation and guiding those plagued by the supernatural towards a path of healing. And so, the story of the haunted doll and the Morgan family became a legend in Willowbrook, a testament to the power of compassion, courage, and the enduring bond between the living and the spirits that walk among them.